ride with me. Go down on the stairs. Yeah.
We're here with John Stoll and Rebecca Ferguson of the Westbound duo Roots Americana. How would you guys describe what you do?
Described it as a high energy Roots and Americana, two-person band from Houston, Texas, based in Houston.
And where do you get your inspiration for doing this kind of music?
It's from a variety of places. We look for anything that we find an emotional connection to. And right now we're looking at a lot of older Appalachian style folk stuff to kind of put a new edge on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, and having seen you guys, I mean, you do a almost like a high energy rock and roll version of that, and you're using stomp box and other traditional instruments. What else are you?
We're using acoustic guitar, banjo, resonator guitar, the old blues style guitar, mandolin on some of the tracks, and the stomp box, of course, is this homemade thing that you put your foot down on, and we plug it into like a 2,000 watt amp with bass speaker. So it's not like you say, it's a contemporary take on traditional.
Aggressive.
Well, yeah,
Always
yes.
aggressive.
And well, how does that translate? Like I know live you got this great show and sound, but how does it work in recording? Do you find you're happy with the recordings? Is it picking up the energy?
I think so.
It's hard because it is very different. It's very different. Our recording is so. With this last album, it was very clean, and everything was airtight, perfect, lined up just right, and we had to kind of play with it a while to make it sound a little more raw, a little more edgy, to kind of match what people have come to expect from the live shows, because it was a very clean album, very clean recording.
Yeah. A lot of ISO booth recordings, whereas normally people are used to, the guitar plugged into the PA, and there's a lot more interaction, and like they can hear us off mic on stage, maybe having fun, and so
Right.
making that even during a song, I mean, and so like translating that to album is difficult. I feel like the album has got great punch to it. I mean, especially that opening track just hits you with like 2 stomp box hits, like a cannon kind of. So I feel like it's got great punch to it.
It does. We just had to take a different approach to find it, because it manifests in very different ways live
Absolutely.
versus the recording booth. But we found it.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Nice. Now you guys have recorded other people's songs and material, and but when it comes to doing your own, how do you write? Like, who comes in with an idea, a lyric, a melody? How does it go?
Yeah.
We've done it both ways. John will show up with a new portion of a section or a B section, maybe both, just instrumental, and that'll give me some ideas for words. I just kind of listen to it and try to see what it's actually saying, and then try to translate that. Or I'll have something that I've written and hand it over to him. Here, do what you want with it. See how this moves you. And like neither one of us ever has anything finished when we show it to the other. So it just kind of, I listen to what he plays, that helps me write more, vice versa.
Yeah.
And then eventually we'll have a finished song. But I like the collaborative approach to that. It's a lot of fun.
It's very much a 1 + 1 = more than 2 approach.
Yeah.
Is how I always, by the time it's done, it's like, wow, I could have never imagined it would have gone in that direction, but it somehow does. So it's really, really neat.
It is very much a give and take.
Yeah. And a trust thing too, to come to somebody and just like, here's a vocal line and try to sing it, and I sound like I just woke up or something. But it's a trust thing, and so to have that is also, that's a blessing. That's a big blessing.
It really is.
Well, and it's difficult enough to find an artist to work with your own material, but you guys have the added joy and burden of being a couple.
Yes.
So, do you have any philosophy on separating those two identities, or
I don't know. It seems to be that a different thing works for everybody, and we found that this really works for us. And for me, I can't separate music and all the other things that go on inside your little heart cavity thing. I can't separate those things, and it's like one of them chemistry equations. It all kind of.
I think that's why there's trust. I think that's why we can have creative trust, and I can be open and sing something a cappella that I just made up and know that he's not going to laugh at me, because we just have that emotional bond, and that was there. I mean, that's been there for so long. You know, I think that's really been a very key part of why we can be creative together, and that's been exciting to find it. I mean, I like that though, the joy and burden. That was
Yeah,
that
because
was
it
fun.
is. I mean, being two, we were talking about this the other day, being two creative people who like emotionally really experience life to its fullest means you're going to experience all parts of life,
Right.
the ups and the downs, and so it's the joy and the burden,
It is.
you know?
It is.
Do you have a set time, or do you need to set aside time to work on music, or do you have enough sort of? Does it find itself every day?
That's an interesting one.
That's a
We've
very
tried to
interesting
do that. Because we get busy with day jobs, with just taking care of the house and the pets and dealing with regular, normal domestic stuff, and then have the band on top of that. So we'll say, okay, Mondays and Wednesdays we're going to play, and that's that. And, it'll happen or it doesn't. But I think it's something we just like to do. It's just part of what we do. So we always find time, whether or not it fits a schedule, I guess.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, there's always like a guitar in reach somewhere. There's always, it's always right there. So if the feeling is right, then we just do it.
Right.
And sometimes, like she was saying, it's, the night is set aside to do it, and if the feeling's not right, it's like, well, then it's not right,
Try to force it, and it just gets weird and uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
we just stop, go watch TV.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking earlier about finding the right audience for what you do or for what any artist does. And how is Houston in general? Do you think for you guys?
I would say Houston's a great city. I mean, Houston's a very spread out city. It's very different here than it is in some of the small towns we play. Because in some of the small towns we play, there are places you go to listen to music. Very easy to find it. A little bit harder in Houston since it's so spread out. But we've had some wonderful experiences in Houston. We've met wonderful, wonderful people in Houston. We released our CD here in Houston, so and we had a huge crowd that night. And so it's a wonderful place. It really is.
I think that the benefit and the drawback of Houston is that there's so many people who all want different things. And so you'll find lots of people who like what you do, and you'll find lots of people who don't. And, I think it's just a matter of putting us and the right people in the right place at the right time. And, of course, that's always complicated. But we find it, and it's working. It's working.
But you guys will drive 600 miles to, I don't know how far it is to Arkansas, the Cat House.
650 or so.
Was it?
Pub, I should say.
7 something, I
Yeah,
think.
something in the
Yeah.
sevens.
So
I
how
think.
do you justify whether it's worth it to go to, say, a place you haven't been?
It's always worth it.
It's always worth it. we from the very beginning when we've been doing this, driving has been like a common theme. We can sit in the car for 12 hours together, and it's like it was 12 minutes. And
Yeah. No,
maybe we
arguing
talk,
or-
maybe we don't. Maybe we listen to music, maybe we don't. It's just we're just there driving.
Just pull over and take pictures or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, we've done that since the beginning. That's kind of the fuel for our first album. The
Yeah.
whole Blackjack Road theme came because we saw a street sign out in the middle of nowhere. Thought, oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Let's go take pictures.
Right.
And so we spent New Year's Day of 2010 just driving around taking pictures out in the middle of Texas. So
Nice.
it's-
So, like, is it worth it to? Is the gig worth it? We won't travel, for something that may or may not pay, or maybe there's not people, or maybe there's not a good gig. Like, well, I mean, we'll book a good gig. But the distance, the only limiting quantity on the distance is can we get there and back, in the time to make it back to the day job on Monday, for example, and to retain our sanity.
Yes.
If you drive 12 to 14 hours in a day and play that night and then do the same thing to come home the next day, that's very difficult.
That is, yeah.
You
We
know.
we always try to drive up, have a day, night, or whatever to recover, then have the show. We try to keep it calm if we can. So I think about 750 miles is our limit
Yeah.
for right now. If we have 3 or 4 days
That's
to do it in, that's a good amount to try to do. Otherwise, you lose your mind, I think.
And not just west either.
No,
Right.
no, north,
Yeah.
south.
North, yeah,
East-ish.
east,
Really?
above,
Yeah,
not
kind of
enough.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
it's-
did Westbound come from?
Kind of the traveling thing.
Yeah.
And kind of, when we were first getting together and doing music, like we were just wanting to just drive. And I mean, like Rebecca was saying, it fuels so much of the music, that theme does, and so it was kind of, just kind of the road thing. And
What is it you always tell people? If we go east, we end up in the water.
we go to
So had to
whenever
be
people
west.
ask, we can't go east.
Thank you guys for being here. Would you play a song to play us out?
We'd
Absolutely.
love
Nice.
to. We'd
Well,
absolutely
thanks.
love to.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, we walked through the desert, crawled on the sand, drank from the river, palm of our hand. Looked out over neighborhood of Southland, knew we'd made it to the promised land. Knew we'd made it to the promised land. And we sang, go down, Moses, walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, lead the way home through the middle of the sea. Walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, with me. Somebody came in the middle of the night, took us to the woods and went inside. Locked us up down deep inside. Didn't stop crying till we saw the light. Didn't stop crying till we saw the light. And we sang, go down, Moses, walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, lead the way home through the middle of the sea. Walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, with me. Yeah. Look out the window and everybody else walking on by, saying to myself, maybe one day we'll all accept. Ain't nothing wrong if there's anything left. Ain't nothing wrong if there's anything left. Well, there's two little numbers and numbers don't lie. People don't like it, they get too high. Push and we pull and we don't understand why we never make it to the promised land. Why we never make it to the promised land. We sang, go down, Moses, walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, lead the way home through the middle of the sea. Walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, with me. And we sang, go down, Moses, walk through the bottom with me. Go down, Moses, lead the way home through the middle of the sea. Walk through the bottom with me.